Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing this morning? Well, it is afternoon for you because it's 12:30, but I am starting a little bit before. So when you're watching me right now, I'm sitting in the chat. I'm able to type to you. I'm able to communicate with you, see what you type. But this was recorded a little bit before, just to make sure that I can use special effects, that I can use not just uh, not just the funny backgrounds and this stuff, but also, for example, if I want to put a text in the back for you to be able to read, I can't really put it straight into Facebook. Facebook doesn't recognize this particular program that I'm using. For those of you who probably don't realize this, many years ago, before Twitch, if you're all familiar with what Twitch is, before Twitch was what it is today, 10, 12 years ago, it was a broadcasting site named Justin TV. And then I used to go on all the time, and I had this program with all the backgrounds and the funny things, and I used to communicate with my mom on it. I used to do my own TV shows on it, and it was lots of fun. Besides, when I was 15, I worked for the junior local news, and I was heavily into broadcasting, and being on TV, being on camera is not a problem for me. I quite like it, so that's why I'm doing this. But what I do need you to understand is that these are our classes. Usually in a normal class, we have an hour and a half, minus the 5-minute break, so it's an hour and 25 minutes. The time that the teacher is actually giving instructions and talking is probably a lot larger than the time that the students talk. So these videos are not going to be an hour and a half, which would be the total. They will be part of me talking and giving instruction and teaching different things. And the rest of the time between 12:30 and 2 o'clock, you will be working on tasks. You will be doing listening activities. I'm going to link you up to the listening activities. You will be doing exercises on the book. You will be actively working. I can't see you, so I don't know what you're doing or where you are. I don't know if you're watching me sitting on the toilet with your phone. I don't know. But it doesn't matter as long as we keep the routine. Wake up at a certain time, be online at 8, and keep your routines going so that when this entire crazy stuff that's going on is over with and we're back into our normal routine, you will be on the same time zone. It's almost like being on a surreal trip. So here's what's going to happen this afternoon. This is the chapter we're going to start looking at. It's a part of the chapter we're doing. Here we go. It says safety first. Safety first. And it is on page 127. We're going to work with the vocabulary from this text that I expect you to study, because we will be doing vocabulary check, not in a way that you just memorize a word in English and in Norwegian in English, not just that. It's good to know the word in English and in Norwegian, but I want you to be able to use them in sentences, in conversation, in text. So it's very important. Page 127, safety first. So first of all, what is the importance of safety at work? I'd like to see a few different ideas from you. What is the importance? of safety at work. Right about now, I will be typing things. Even though my hands are here, I'll be typing my feedback to what you're typing into chat, because I want to see what your ideas are. What is the importance of safety at work? I have another question regarding safety at work. I want you to write down in the chat right now 3 occupations, in the chat or in the comments. It depends whether you are on YouTube or on Facebook. Yesterday I was having a bit of a problem with Facebook, so I ended up doing the entire class for both my Spanish groups on YouTube, and the chat box worked a lot better on YouTube. So if it's not working on Facebook, you can go to my YouTube link. My YouTube link is, it's easy, it's just my name. And so if this here is not working, just YouTube me. Pollyanna Nielsen. I don't know if you can read this. It looks kind of small. But that's what you're going to do. If this is not working, then go to my YouTube link. So let's rewind a little bit. What is the importance of safety at work? Safety. First of all, what does the word safety mean to you? Safety. I don't want you to just like flat out translate it to Norwegian, but I want you to try to explain, what does safety mean? And type it in chat or in the comments. We're most likely on YouTube right now because it worked better yesterday, but the videos will be available on my page, educator.pollyanna, on Facebook and on YouTube. So even if you're just coming in now and you missed the beginning, or if you want to watch it more than one time to take notes and know what the homework is and know what was said during class, the videos will be available. So 3 occupations where safety is paramount, where safety is incredibly important. And I'll be giving you feedback in the chat. But I'll tell you 3 occupations in which I feel safety is very important. Safety is very important for doctors. Safety is very important for nurses. And the third one is a broader category. I believe that safety is very important for everybody that works with people. Safety is important for everyone who is in a service branch who works with people. So for those of you just coming in right now, page 127, safety first. So let's ask ourselves, why is safety important for doctors and nurses? Why am I bringing up these 2 occupations? Everyone who is here in my class is enrolled in this program, Helse- og oppvekstfag. So you're going to be in the field of health. You will be involved in situations where you will encounter the same types of vocabulary, the same type of language opportunities, if that's even a thing, but you can understand what I mean. You will need to speak using that type of vocabulary. You will need to know words that are related to this. That is the importance of the vocabulary on this page, which we will be looking at right now. I'd like to invite everybody to please get a notebook. Please get a notebook. I think it's okay to write things on a computer. It's perfectly fine. But I do want you to please write stuff down with your hands. When you write stuff down with your hands, you learn more, you remember more, and I've been doing this for 30 years. Been teaching English, Spanish, Portuguese, and even Norwegian for people of other languages. I've been doing this for 30 years altogether. I wasn't much older than you. I was 18 years old when I taught my first class. In August this year, I'll celebrate 30 years. And what I can tell you is that when people write stuff down with their hands, they take a pencil and they pick up a pencil and they write, they do learn more. People who take notes learn more. So let's get started. From this point on, I am going to show you the background of, there we go, I'm sharing the screen with you. And you will see everything that I write. But you'll also see me. Yay! I'm right here. And I'm going to put myself here to make sure there's plenty of space for you to see what I'm typing. There we go. Words that are important from this chapter. The first word is disease. At the moment, the entire world knows what that word means. Disease. I don't know where to point. It's somewhere behind me, there. The word disease. The entire world knows what that word means, unfortunately. But it is a word that you should know how to spell, should know how to use. So let's make some sentences with this word. We have two sentences here. And it's inevitable for us to talk about it because it's happening right now. The coronavirus causes a disease. People with diseases sometimes can infect other people. So here we have some keywords. Not only the word disease, but also causes. The coronavirus causes a disease. People with diseases can sometimes can infect other people. So here you have two words, two verbs. First, I'm going to take the verbs first. To cause, to infect. Those two verbs are very important. Don't worry about, take some notes right now, but just know that at the end of this class, everybody in this group, all of you 11 girls, will receive a copy of everything that I'm writing over there. Everything that I'm writing there where it says to cause, to infect, you're going to get a copy of that. But do take some notes of your own, because I know that some of you girls, and I've seen what an amazing job you do with taking notes. Some of you take notes in Norwegian sometimes, your private notes. Let's keep going. To cause and to infect. Let's make some sentences with it. I have not been infected with any serious diseases. Have not been infected. Remember to conjugate your verbs. Verbene. I have not been infected. Jeg har ikke vært smittet. I have not been infected. To cause. What kind of symptoms does this virus cause? Also, verb conjugation, very important. Norwegian doesn't have do, does, did, right? Norwegian doesn't have any of that. So it is important for you to remember to use do, does, did, all of that in English, because those words are very important when you ask a question. Let me give you an example. Har John en bror? So, what is the correct way to say that in Norwegian? Go ahead and type it in. What is the correct way to ask that question in Norwegian? Let's see. If you, whoever wrote, does John have a brother? You are right. You're absolutely right. Let's do a little dance to celebrate that you're right. If you wrote, does John have a brother? You see, so in Norwegian, you don't need does or do. You just go straight up with the verb had or ha, and then you just put it straight in there. Bam! Har John en bror. But in English, you have to use do and does. Does John have a brother? So next, you have a sentence in Norwegian. Jon har en bror. And you of course know by now that when you learn how to conjugate the verb to have, I have, you have, he has. And so some of you might be asking, hey, Pollyanna, but then when you ask the question, does John have a brother? Why didn't you put has? The reason why I didn't do it in the question is because when you ask a question, you do not put has. Only when you have an affirmative, a sentence. Does John have a brother? John has a brother. So in the question, does John have? In the sentence, which is an affirmative sentence, John has. The reason why I'm bringing this stuff up, although you learned this a long time ago in 8th grade, åttende klasse, you learned this a long time ago, but I correct your work. I correct the things that you write, and some of you make those mistakes quite often, so it is worth bringing this up and trying to fix it. It's very important, especially because you have that essay coming up. I'm going to give you an extension on it. Shout out to Ingrid, who has already written and sent me. She gave me hers for me to look at. But the rest of you who haven't done it yet, I'm going to give you an extension. Ska gi dere mer tid for å gjøre det, for innlevering. So, does John have a brother? John has a brother. If I want to say, and let me put the sentence in Norwegian here. The negative. In English, you need to bring the does particle again. John does not have a brother. Yes, it is correct to say doesn't have or does not have. It is correct to say doesn't. It's fine. But here's the deal. Everyone who's here is going to have to write academic papers, is going to have to submit business letters, professional work. When you write professional letters, when you write academic work, do not use contractions. Do not write doesn't, didn't. Avoid that and write does not have. Just be very aware of that. Let's go back to the topic at hand, which is the vocabulary from the page. We started with the word disease. The word disease. A synonym for this word is illness. A disease. An illness. Then I gave you two verbs, to cause and to infect. To infect. Å smitte. Å smitte. Å smitte. To infect. But then when you want to say, and forgive me if the Norwegian's not perfect, forgive me for that. But my degree is in Spanish, Portuguese, and English, and I have the proficiency exam called Bergens test in Norwegian, but I do know the other three languages way more than I know Norwegian, so excuse me for that. So smittsom, contagious. Smittsom, contagious. That's another word that you should know. And the topic of this text that we're reading here today, safety first. What are the things that we have to think about when it comes to being contagious? What can we talk about here? There's plenty to talk about. So I'm going to give you some examples. A person can be infected with a virus without being contagious. Often, it is not the case. And people who are infected with a virus are contagious. Meaning, if somebody is infected with a virus, and they go out and about, they give somebody a big old hug and a kiss, or they go, oh, shoot, and they just sneeze all over the place. And if they're contagious, everyone who is around will be infected. And that is not cool. Safety first. If you think you're contagious, or if you don't think you're contagious for whatever reason, wash your hands, don't get close to people, don't go anywhere. If you do go somewhere, don't touch people. Wash your hands, disinfect your hands, and all of that. Which brings me to the next word, disinfect. To disinfect. When you get rubbing alcohol and you rub your hands with it, you're disinfecting your hands. And all of that in the name of safety first, as we're on page 127. Let's go on with other words that are important here. There are plenty of words here, but I'm going to focus on the words that are mostly related to your area of expertise, which is health. Next word that's important, protective. Some people, all right, let me write this down. Some people are wearing protective masks. Some people are wearing protective masks. Some people are wearing, meaning at this moment, right now, they are wearing it. You might walk out to go to the supermarket, and there will be people wearing protective masks right now. Protective. Protective is a word that comes from the same family of the verb to protect. To protect. Å beskytte. Don't make fun of my Norwegian accent when I speak in Norwegian. Å beskytte. To protect. Protective. That's another word that's important from page 127. Very important that you know that word. Very, very, very important. To protect is the verb. People wear masks in order to protect themselves from illnesses. In order to. For å. Folk bruker masks for å beskytte seg. For å beskytte seg. In order to protect. In order to protect themselves. Let's continue. More words from page 127. Goggles. Goggles are protective gear. I want to see if there are more words on the page that we should be looking at, but goggles definitely are words that you have to know. Goggles. In Norwegian, that word is vernebriller. Give me some situations in which people need to wear those. Write down in the chat box right now. Hopefully everyone is on my YouTube channel doing this right now, because in all fairness to Facebook, which is really good, YouTube has been a better platform for me, since I can't get into Canvas because I don't, my school phone, my mobile phone is at school. I couldn't bring it home because I didn't. Let's not talk about it. So goggles. 3 situations in which people use goggles. I'd like to see what you wrote, and I'm giving you written feedback right now in the chat. If nobody's writing anything, then I'm probably sitting there really disappointed saying, okay, I'm going to give myself the hearts. But if you have given 3 situations in which people wear goggles, here's what you're going to get. If you wrote the 3 situations, you will see me posting in the chat box, posting a little heart in there. Goggles. Sometimes dentists wear goggles. To protect themselves. Surgeons wear goggles. Nurses wear goggles too. So there are many different types of occupations in which people need to wear goggles for protection. People need to wear goggles for protection. For those of you who may have started watching this late, we're doing this page 127, safety first. So safety is the noun. Safety is the noun. Substantive, noun. What is the verb associated with the word safety? Write it down in chat. What is the verb that comes from the same family as safety? Write it in the chat box right now. Like I said, in all fairness to Facebook, if I'm not responding on Facebook, if there's some sort of technical problem, just go to my YouTube link. It's youtube.com Pollyanna Nielsen, all together like that. I just asked you something, but I'm not sure what it was. I fell asleep for a second. Nurses wear goggles, surgeons wear goggles, sometimes dentists wear goggles for protection. And then I said it's all in the name of safety. Safety is the noun. What is the verb associated with that noun? To be safe. To be safe. To be safe. To ensure someone's safety. That's another verb that you can use. I am going to wear masks and gloves in order to ensure everyone's safety. I'm going to wear goggles, gloves, and a mask in order to ensure someone's safety. To ensure. What does that verb mean? To ensure. It means to make sure that something happens. To ensure. To make sure that something that needs to happen happens. To make sure that that happens. Next, that you need to know from this text. Precaution. Precaution. What's a precaution? It is something you do to prevent something bad from happening. You want to stop something bad from happening, so you take a precaution. You take precautions to make sure nothing bad happens. People wear protective masks as a precaution against deadly viruses. Precaution. A precaution is something you do to make sure that something bad doesn't happen, to prevent something bad from happening. On your book, there are a couple of translations there to Norwegian. Forhåndsregel, förhåndsregel, precaution. Very, very important word. Very important verbs also on the list. To prevent, to avoid. Forhindre, forhindre, forhindre in Norwegian. I want to avoid people who are infected with a disease so that I don't catch it. This is what you can say. Of course, if you're writing this down for an academic paper, you should write, I do not. No contractions in academic papers. I want to avoid people who are infected with a disease so that I do not catch it. Right. You're thinking about, okay, so that's avoid. How about prevent? They have the same underlying meaning, avoid and prevent, but the way that you use them in structure is different. In order to prevent myself from getting sick, I don't want to go out. Prevent yourself from something. Again, you can say I don't, but if you're writing an academic paper, that don't becomes what? Do not. Ladies, I want to remind you that the word I as in jeg, is always capitalized, no matter what the position of that word in a sentence is, it is always, and I repeat, always capitalized. So let me give you more examples. When people give you guide, and remember, take some notes for your own sake in Norwegian, or in English if you will, your personal notes, but this entire thing that I'm typing right now, I'm going to save it as a file. As a matter of fact, I'm going to save it right now to make sure that I don't lose it. So I'm going to save it. Save as. I'm going to make sure that I save it. And everybody's going to get a copy sent to their email. And it's going to be called Vocabulary for Safety First. So everyone's going to receive a copy, but please do take notes. Take notes for your own sake. Personal notes that will help you remember what those words mean, because you will be tested on them. Right now, everybody's being homeschooled. We're doing long distance learning online. So it's very important that you know how to do your self-study is not always very easy to do, to study by yourself. That is why I'm here. Yay! To make sure that everyone at least gets a little bit, I don't know how to describe it because the whole situation is very surreal, but I do think it's important for you to see the teacher, hear the teacher, and feel like, yes, I'm still having classes. This virus is not going to stop me from getting an education. I want you to feel this, that I'm still here, you're still having classes, so I'm going to be on video. Every time that you're supposed to have classes, I am going to be on video teaching a class. You bet I will. Let's keep going. We have all of these words that you have to know. We have taken the word disease, goggles, prevent, precaution, avoid. Next word, injury. Let me give you a sentence and then you tell me if you understood. The woman had a bad accident, but she didn't sustain any injuries. The woman had a bad accident, but she didn't sustain any injuries. I'm going to give you a few seconds to write this down in the chat box. Everyone who wrote the correct translation in Norwegian for this, let's do a little dance to celebrate. So let's keep going. The next word that we're going to look at right now, the word to spread. Å spre, right? Å spre. As the verb to spread, but also you have spread as in a noun, spread. Spredning. We have to be careful and take precautions. Let's use another word from the same list from today. And take precautions to make sure this virus doesn't spread. So you have two sentences here. The woman had a bad accident, but she didn't sustain any injuries. If you're writing academic papers, did not sustain any injuries. We have to be careful and take precautions to make sure this virus doesn't spread. If you're writing an academic paper, does not spread. Now you have enough words and sentences for you to work with. The next step of what we're going to do today is I want you to listen to this audio file, and I want you to move on to page 128, finish listening to the audio file, and I want you to do exercises 4.1, 4.2, and 4.3. Okay, so let me write this down. Required work. Exercises 4.1, 4.2, 4.3. What page you say? Page 128. What else is required work? Listen to the audio file. How do you listen to the audio file? How am I supposed to do that? I'll tell you. I will tell you. This is my page. My Facebook page. Some of you guys are in it right now. I'm going to post for you the video of this class so that you can watch it again if you need to. I'm also going to keep a copy of it on my YouTube channel. So you're welcome to watch it again. But my question was, how do I listen to the file? How do I I'm going to show you. If you type in on Google skills engelsk hälsa och uppväxtfag lärobok, you're going to come up with a lot of links. The link that says, and I'm going to try to pronounce it, prepare my face to say words in Norwegian, so difficult. Gyldendal.no. When you go to that, you have the book on there. They're trying to get you to buy it. That's you don't have to buy it. It costs 739 kroner. Ouch, expensive. But you already have a borrowed copy that you borrowed from the school. But then you're going to see 4 things on this page. You're going to go to where it says Ressursbank Elev, and you're going to click on Open Now. Bam! I'm watching too much RuPaul's Drag Race Season 3. Bam! All the time. Okay, you're going to go to where it says Chapter 3. And you're going to find where it says as a matter of fact, you can listen to all of the previous ones if you want. You can listen to all of the previous chapters, all of the sound files. I think it's a fantastic exercise. Some people are like, oh, that's boring. I know. I just want to watch Netflix. I just want to watch an episode of Grey's Anatomy. That is good too, but this is vocabulary and stuff that you need to really know, so you can actually listen to all of this. Chapter 3 is the past chapter that we looked at, but this is actually Chapter 4. So to listen to the audio file, you're going to go to where it says Chapter 4. Let me make this bigger. To make sure that you can see. So you're going to go here, Chapter 4. Here, Chapter 4. Safety first. Bam. I can't stop saying it now. So there are two files here for you to listen to. In short, which is just like it's just a summary of the text, but I don't want you to just listen to the summary. I want you to listen to the whole thing. I want you to sit, and I don't want you to just put it on and just like space out, just start listening to it, and then you start thinking about something else. I want you to promise me that you will open the book to pages 127 and 128, and you're going to really listen to it. I want you to promise me that. I'm going to play the file right now, but I still want you to do it on your own.
In short, what kills most Safety first. What do you think kills most people in the world? Is it war, crime, or drugs? No, it is work. Around 2 million people worldwide die every year from accidents or diseases related to their work. The most dangerous jobs in the world are in agriculture, mining, and construction. Even though the most common cause of death is work-related car accidents, 23%, it is no surprise that falls in construction work is number 2. Lumberjacks have a very high number of deaths at work. 122 deaths per 100,000 employees. In the USA alone, around 6,000 people die at work each year, but this also includes those who have a heart attack while sitting at their desks. A lot has been done to reduce accidents at work. First, strict rules and safety instructions have improved working conditions. Second, protective clothing like safety boots, hard hats, and goggles help prevent injuries. Third, better health care saves more people after accidents and helps victims back to work after recovery. It is, however, obvious that things can get even better. Not all workers take necessary precautions. In some cases, the equipment or the instructions may not be good enough. In the healthcare sector, the focus on safety and ergonomics helps workers avoid problems like infections or back injuries. For example, lifting properly is important when working with people. Likewise, working with dangerous chemicals is safer with a mask. To avoid the spread of bacteria and diseases, you should wear rubber gloves or use disinfectants. Ambulance drivers should always be focused and not too tired. Different jobs have different hazards, and workers should know which risks they face. In conclusion, to prevent accidents, employees should always follow instructions, but the employer should also make sure that the working conditions are good enough. Consequently, safety is something that concerns everybody.
So, here's what you're going to do. Read this again. Page 127. On page 128, you're going to read the summary, and you can also listen to the summary on here, where it says, in short. It's the very top one. In short. So it's up to you what you want to do. If you want to listen to it right now, or if you want to listen to it later. I'm just playing it to make sure that people listen to it. But I want you to read both pages, listen to the audio files.
In short, what kills most people is work. Around 2 million people in the world die every year because of accidents or diseases related to their work. The most dangerous jobs are in agriculture, mining, and construction. The most common causes of death are car accidents and falls in construction. Still, lumberjacks have the largest number of deaths at work. 122 deaths per 100,000 employed. In the US, 6,000 people die at work every year. Strict safety rules have reduced the number of accidents. When workers wear protective clothing like safety boots, hard hats, and goggles, more lives are saved. They can often go back to work after recovery. However, Workers are often careless and instructions are not good enough. For healthcare workers, it is important to lift properly and wear a mask and rubber gloves. This is to avoid back injuries and the spread of bacteria. Also, an ambulance driver must be focused and not too tired. To prevent accidents, employees and employers should work together.
Okay, so just to remind you, this book, all of these books, audio files are available on this website, podium.gyldendal.no/skills/ho/ressourcebank. But a quick Google search will take you there. A very quick Google search will take you quickly back to this page. Let me just demonstrate. You go on Google and you write skills, engelsk, hälsa, uppväxtfag. You write that. You click on here. You go all the way down here. And there are 4 things here. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4th one says Ressursbank elev. Åpne nå. You open that. We are on chapter 4. Safety first. It says safety first in short sound file, which is the summary. And it says safety first sound file. I want you to listen to it if you haven't yet. And on the book, the required work for today. What do I mean required work for today? This is not homework. This is for here and now. Normally, you would have 1 hour and 30 minutes with me sitting there with you, with my bags and my jackets, walking around to see how people were doing. Eva would probably also be there. Shout out to Eva. He's not here, is he? If he is, hey. So it would be a lot different if I had been there, because then you don't even notice that this is what you're doing with your time. But since you're home, you have to really force yourself to do these things. So I want Kristina med C, Kristina med K, Ingrid, Kaisa, Eiril, Kaya, Emma, Joanna, Caroline. Did I say Martina yet? Did I say Kaisa? I know it's 10 of you, and I know all of you. And I'm very sad that we have to do this online like this, but I'm also very happy that we have this technology. In Brazil, for example, the students, they're not having classes right now. They anticipated the summer vacation now, so all the time that they have off now is the time they're going to be studying in the summer. And they have a summer that's like boiling hot, so they're going to be sitting in the classroom in the summer to make up for this time now, because not everybody has the technology to be doing this. And you have this. So we're going to be fine. Everyone, just know, work on this stuff. You have an extension, meaning you have more time to work on your inleveringsoppgave. Ingrid has already handed hers in. So I just want you girls to know, I'm just trying to picture you sitting in class so I can see all of you and see. Caroline, Kaisa, Emma, Kaya, Eiril, Joanna, Martina, Cristina Co, Cristina Ser, Joanna. Has that Martina Enrica yet? There's not 12 girls. I just hope you all know that I am here. I am available to you all the way until 2 p.m. Anything you need, give me a shout, either on Skype or on anywhere you can get a hold of me. Anywhere. I know that people usually use Canvas. I cannot get into Canvas. I don't have my work phone with me for reasons I'm not going to get into. It's not because I just wanted to leave it there, just so you know. It's not like, because I went there to pick up this and all the other books, but I couldn't bring my phone with me. I could have asked for it. Could I? It doesn't matter. I don't have my phone with me, so I can't get into Canvas. So if you need to get a hold of me, I am everywhere online. As a matter of fact, if you just go, even if you don't have any of my contacts, you just do this, Pollyanna Nielsen, and all kinds of stuff comes up. My YouTube, my Twitter, my Facebook, my academic page, everything. So it's not difficult to find me. Get a hold of me and let me know what's going on. Ingrid, I know that you were the first one to hand in the inleveringsoppgave. And I'm proud of you for doing that, because it shows that you sat and you took the time to do it. All of you girls take very good notes. Some of you sometimes would rather discuss things in Norwegian rather than do it in English, which is fine when you want to understand something better. I know that sometimes when we're watching episodes of something that maybe Kaisa likes to work on, do the schoolwork. I'm just thinking of all of you and just hoping for the best with this whole situation. I am live with you right now in the chat box typing, but this is pre-recorded, because for me to get all the stuff going on, such as the whiteboard with the stuff written out, or something cute like this, and this, I need to do it in advance to make sure that everything is in place. So please get in touch with me if you need anything. Just know that when this entire thing blows over, we'll go back to having our classes in the classroom, and everything's going to be fine. Okay, the required work is page 128, 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, and listen to the audio file if you haven't yet. These videos will be available on my Facebook page, educator.pollyanna, and also on my YouTube page, Pollyanna Nielsen. So thank you all for today. I really hope that this is not how we'll have to be doing this for a very long time. So good luck to all of us.